Good morning. What's happening? Let's see. Bitcoin back to that $60,000 level. Quite the pullback over the last few hours. To me, that is kind of spelling head and shoulders right there. You know? But we'll cover that. I'm gonna let more people filter through. Join in. Shiba. Hey Saleh, hey Spooky, hey Doge to the Moon. How are you guys? Let's see what other coins we got here. So I'm gonna look at Bitcoin. Check out.
What up, mate?
G'day, mate. We got Bitcoin, Shiba. What else has been popping lately? I mean, we've got a new daily candle. CHZ is off to a flying start right now. Wow. 5.6%. Pump out of nowhere. Lit. Elon. Yeah, nothing has really moved other than this CHZ coin. So we've got 16 people tuned in. What's up, guys? So let's have a look at Bitcoin on the higher time frame here. We're still pretty elevated, I think. If we're calling this, you know, move 1, this the move 2, which is the pullback, and then wave 3. Is that big enough of a move to be considered a wave 3? I think, yeah, possibly. Let's check. So this point to that point, back to this point. Yeah, I mean, hitting the 1 on the Fibonacci extension tool, that's, you know, that's target acquire, you know, target hit, pretty much. The super bullish target would have been the 1618, $78,000. But yeah, perhaps we're still on the way up to that, but you know, what it's looking like is we're getting a wave 4 off a Fibonacci sequence here. So, you know, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and then this is the 4th pull, like the wave 4 pullback. So a wave 4 is similar to a wave 2, where you get an ABC correction. So A, B, C. A, B, C, wherever the C may fall back to. So to get an idea of where support might be found, you can do a fib retracement from this base level here and trace it up to this high here. So sort of tells you where we might find support, somewhere around 53,000, which is the retest of this high here. That would be basically a pullback to the 0.5 Fibonacci level to there. So that, by the way, that is still bullish. Like if we pull back to 53, you know, we might not even come back down that far. Like we might stop at the 382 fib level, which is just a little bit here under 57k. Let's just call it 57,000 to give you a round number. So that's like, if we are going to keep correcting here, target 1 for support would be the 382, which is around 56,880. So let's just call it 57. And then if that fails, we've got support target number 2, which is $53,000-ish, you know, around that area. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin at the moment, because it is, as we can see, it's quite obvious it's pulling back. You know, we've got our all-time high here, and we've got our first lower high on the macro scale, like on the higher time frame. Well, this is the 4-hour, not quite macro, but it's high enough to be able to, you know, to recognize patterns on the higher time frame. What's up, OG Alchemist? Good to have you here. Honest AF, what's up? Emotional Inertia, I like that name. How you doing? Hello from Piscuits. I'm having a great morning. It's lovely weather. It's good to be back on the command center, back in the driver's seat of the channel. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit of a market overview. I'm going to take it to the extreme here and just go to these exact points just to see if we can get any clarity on actual fib levels as support. So currently we're playing around on the 236, which is the first level to be tested for support. If we lose that, the 382 is the next one. If you lose that, the 0.5, and then if you lose that, the golden ratio 0.618 to 6.5, which is the pocket, the golden pocket. So you can see, like, you know, these just give you like areas to target as support. If the first levels fail, just look to the next level, you know. And this is how dollar cost averaging can be helpful to you. If you're trying to enter a long position as price is falling, you can just place orders on these key levels, like first order there, second order here, third, and then fourth. And then like you could stagger them down. So like, let's say you put in 20% here, 30% here, so that's 50. And then maybe you put in the rest, like somewhere between 0.5 and 0.618. This is just as an example. This is like weighted dollar cost averaging. So let's go back. My belly hurts. I think I have pancreatic cancer, not financial advice. Jeez. Kirk, have you seen a doctor? I would suggest seeing a professional to get a professional's opinion on that one. That's scary, dude. Hello, Greybeard. Mr. Rick, Mr. Greybeard. How are you? Could I stream in Piscuit's Discord by any chance? Yeah, I could. We've got a few people that have tuned in here into this Discord already. I'm not sure how many people are sitting in Piscuit's right now. Probably like, around 82. We've got 17 people in this Discord so far listening in. Yeah, I might hop over there after I've done a bit more of like an analysis, but we'll see. Just gonna reply here to something. 1 second. Alright. So here we go. At the moment, there is this sort of threat of a head and shoulders that we've got. The neckline being $60,000. I'm just going to call it at that. If we lose 60,000, then the neckline, the head and shoulders could play out to a target of like if we're using the measure rule, something like, yeah, look at that. Smack bang right on that 0.5 fib level, the 53K. So I would call $53,000 as the target of support if we lose this 60,000 support. There is a little bit of hope here for the 382 to catch us, and you know, maybe we pivot off that instead. It just depends how much demand is there. Like, where is the demand gonna come in? Is it gonna come in at this level here, or is it gonna come in at the second level, or the first test here, the first cradle of support? If you lose this, then yeah, obviously you drop down to the next one. Now, in the past, I'll show you an example of the fib level that got caught the first time around, because you know we all know that we climbed up from 30 and topped out at 53 and then started falling, and we wanted to know where the hell is it going to pull up, like where are we going to get that support. I was calling for 42,000. It went a little bit deeper than that, but 42 still would have been a good entry. Regardless, you just have to sort of, you know, be patient for the support to be established and played out. But I'll show you what I mean. So support, or sorry, the start of the trend up to the top of the trend, which is right there. I've just lined it up with there, and you see it cradled at the 0.5 level, $41,000. Yes, there was a bit of activity below that, but you can see the majority of the price found support at around 41,000. So 42 was a bit of a higher target to call for support. As you know, I was calling it based off these levels here, these pivot points in the past. You can see price likes to do that. It likes to come up, back test a previous level of resistance like this. Like, see in this example, the back test was of this resistance. So previous resistance, future support. Much the same as previous resistance, future support here. See? Alright, so what does that mean? That means we've got previous resistance, like this is our major pivot here of resistance. That's the local resistance level. We have not really come back to back test that on a macro scale, you know? Macro being it ignores all of these movements. Like it just smooths it out to one line. That's what, like, the macro versus micro. The micro moves are all within inside the macro. So if we just smooth that out to one move, we haven't really come back to back test 53,000. You know, you get people arguing that, oh yeah, this point here where we fell down, that was the retest, but I would disagree. I still think the price could come back to retest and find support here at 53, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, you know, people were putting in dollar cost averaging starting right now. Like basically their first buy was at 60, and then in case it does fall, they've got, you know, buys at other levels to improve their overall position. You know, because, you know, who's to say? Like, we don't know. 60,000 might be the floor at the moment, and we might get another, you know, rally up. That could happen too. You know, you have to prepare for both outcomes, basically. But just judging by the oscillators, like, let's go out to the daily chart. We've got MACD threatening to swing down here. We've only just started like a histogram sort of dip. We've got 4 bars increasing on the histogram in the downward direction. So there's a fair bit of force or momentum that's shifting down. However, this cross here could be corrected and it could flip up again for another run up. It has happened before. Like you can see here, cross down at this point, but that did not spell the end of the trend. It was just a a retest of support, like a pullback in the overall bull trend. So it cradled here and took off again, and we got that next high. And then we started getting all the bearish divergence because, you know, the highs were getting lower as price was making higher highs. So from that point, like from that perspective, we've only come up for the first rise, really. If we're gonna do any kind of bull run like this, based off, you know, this being the starting line, like, you know, or us breaking 20,000. Let's call that the starting line right here. That's where we took off when we broke our all-time high, our previous all-time high of 20K. That was like us coming up and, you know, starting right here. Like if we're calling that position 1, bingo, bang. We've only popped up above the climb here. There's no bearish divergence is that's the point I'm trying to get to. So you can see here the MACD reached a high of, what was that, 2000, let's call it 2,900, and then up here it's 4,500. So that is a higher high, and then if you find the corresponding levels on price, it's also a higher high. So that's all you're comparing, the peaks. Like you've got a higher high on price and a higher high on oscillator, which means that it's not divergent and it can move higher. It's only when you start to see divergence that you would start to really worry, like, oh, this is the end of the overall move, right? So I think that could indicate that there's more gas in the tank and we could go higher. You know, I'm not spelling the end of the move yet. Like there's still potential there. I think it's good that we have pulled back off this rising wedge, like, because we were rising in a channel. It wasn't very an obvious channel, but it is there. Like, let me go to the 4 hour, you can probably see it a bit cleaner. I'll go full screen. So that red channel there, I'll delete that fib. Dropping out of the bottom of it was healthy. Like that's the expected move off a rising wedge like that. It is a bearish pattern. So from here, let me delete this resistance line. I don't even know what that's doing there. Support, well, at least for now, we've been testing, and every time that we've come to 60, there's been evidence of buying. Like, look at the wicks, like especially over here, there's a lot of buying here, there's buying here. There was a really nice rally off testing. It looks like, you know, a double bottom, triple bottom, whatever you want to call it. And now we're sort of seeing, okay, is 60,000 gonna hold? And we just have to wait for confirmation on that. So far it is holding, but will it last? Like, are we gonna get a candle that goes up here like this for the next few hours and then drop again and then break support? That could happen, so you have to be prepared for that. Don't get stuck in one bias either way. Like, let the market show you where it's heading. It's currently at like a bit of a, you know, it's the make or break right now. It's at 60,000. If you lose 60, you're gonna fall back to the next major or key levels of support, which would be that 53. All right, so, you know, I mean, every day is interesting on Bitcoin. Like, it's just to see like which direction. Like, if are we going to continue going up, or are you going to pivot, or, you know, whatever. So the way to, like, where to from here? If we, this could be shaping up to be a descending triangle. You know, like we could come up here, make a lower high again, and then you've got this overall like triangle structure where it might be more like this, a bit sharper. Okay, let me delete that. So yeah, this could rally up today and get rejected, and then it comes back down to test the $60,000 level. Now, a descending triangle, there's no real bias to bull or bear, so it could break up just as much chance of it breaking down. So unfortunately, there's no real suggested direction yet. It's very tricky to read this. Like it is threatening this head and shoulders right now. Like we've got the trend starting from down here, reaching a high here, back testing the neckline, forming a head at the all-time high, back testing 60,000, getting relief off it and rallying up, creating the right shoulder. Yeah, that is a reversal pattern, a trend reversal pattern that we have to be aware of right there, the head and shoulders. So yeah, this is why this is quite a key level right now. It's kind of like the crossroads for the last, how many hours have we been in this pattern? Let's call it here. So yeah, this pattern's been drawing up over 11 days, you know. Almost 2 weeks of price action has been printing out this massive head and shoulders. So you could still, like, you know, head and shoulders don't always play out. Like, they can be invalidated. If price starts to climb and smashes through and makes a higher high, like, so we have to get above $64,000 again and make that, you know, the lower high of a new uptrend. So as long as we can do this, you know, maybe we back test this, like these areas of resistance as support, and we continue to climb up. Like, that would be the bullish case. But yeah, it does feel like there's a lot more suggestion of a move down at this stage. Like, if you're asking me what I think's gonna happen, I think, yeah, we could see a bit more decline in price. But you know, you can hold me to that if you like, but you know, I could be wrong. Obviously, anyone can be wrong at any time with crypto. Crypto is pretty unpredictable sometimes. But yeah, you have to be kind of humble to the market, like when you're doing TA, I guess. If you're too sure of yourself, you're gonna get stung at some point. Anyway, that's just my opinion with TA. So I'm gonna delete that head and shoulders because I'm pretty sure you guys can all see that. It's quite clean and obvious. And we'll see how $60,000 behaves. So far it's holding as support, but you know, are we gonna get a nice punch out of this resistance? Like, that's gonna be a big deal. Like, if this does rally up, a big moment is gonna be us punching through that descending trend line that seems to have appeared now, based off these pivots. So that's the kind of like, oh, we've done it, we've punched through. That's the optimistic fuel that we need to move higher. If we meet up here and find resistance on that, then it's like, oh, we're still getting held down by this trend, and we're probably gonna, you know, come back to 60 and test it and then lose it possibly. But just remember, on the bigger picture, because this is the bigger picture, you zoom out, you get more perspective. Let's go to the daily chart. We're still very much bullish. Like, the time that you lose that kind of sentiment is when you start making lower highs and lower lows, because an uptrend is made up of higher highs and higher lows, just like we're getting, right? Our highs are higher, our lows are higher. So for us to change our opinion, technically speaking, on a higher time frame like this, is if this pullback went deep like that, and maybe it lost that high. Like, okay, let's say it did bounce off here as support. This would be the moment, like, when you get a macro lower high, like when it starts to change its highs, because we haven't quite set the low in yet. So far, all we have, like, we need more information. We need more time to see if this is going to be our next low, 60,000. If we do hold 60, that is a extreme higher low. Like, that's very bullish, like, obviously. I mean, even if we pull back to 53, which is what I was sort of suggesting we might do, if we pull back to that zone and bounce, that again is still a higher low. See? Up, up, up. You know, that's a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave. You know, a 5-count Elliott wave move. Now with Elliott wave, I believe that the pullback on the 4th wave it can't go lower than the top of wave 1. You know, the pullback, it can't. If it goes deeper, it invalidates the whole thing as being an Elliott wave, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave thing. So, as a rule of thumb, for support, yeah, it's something like that. You use the Fibonacci tool, and you figure out, you know, a pullback to the 0.5 would still be healthy, and it's still technically higher than this. But yeah, I've seen moves find support at 382 a lot of times in the past, so you know that could be on the cards too. Let's see. Yeah, you can see an example of it here. See how we had resistance here, but the pullback, it didn't quite come back to that 42. It found support. I mean, the support was more like here where the candles are closing, but there was a bit of action below it. But that's, you know, that's just the extreme wick activity that you don't really count as the overall move. But yeah, that could be what's happening this time around. So we came up, found a high, support, punched up through the resistance, came back tested, didn't even need to come back and test that high. So if that happens again here, that means support will be found a little bit higher than the previous resistance there. So yeah, a 382 or a 0.5 like pullback is still really healthy, and it's still an overall bull trend. I mean, we've achieved a new all-time high this year. I mean, November hasn't even started yet, and we achieved a new all-time high. Like, that's crazy. That's really good. It's all thanks to that, you know, ETF thing. You know, I think is her name Kathy Wood or something like that? She was hinting at the ETF going ahead, or they were working on it on that B-word conference, which happened right here, right where Bitcoin pivoted positive again. So, you know, people saw the potential there. Okay, they're still working on this ETF. They're waiting for SEC approval. And then, you know, this pullback here was that another China ban? Like, I don't know. China threatens crypto all the time, at the right time. Like at the time, it's like, like it seems to be like this narrative that gets drawn out, you know. And there's a plan. Like when Bitcoin needs to come down, the media pushes the China ban narrative, or other countries banning. You know what I mean? You know, during this, not only did we have the B word positive news, but we also had the El Salvador positive news, which helped to drive the narrative and push us up to 53. And then to get that peel back, that was, yeah, there was some, you know, negative news that impacted and caused that and helped it carry on. And then, yeah, what was the cause of this second run here? That was the SEC approving the ETF, and it, you know, being planned to hit the market at whatever date. And yeah, that's a big reason that we got that push up. It makes me wonder, like, if we never got that ETF thing, you know, maybe we would have stayed below this yellow resistance line here, you know. We might have got something more like that, you know, similar to what we had back in 2018, you know, just lower highs, and then just like push down into an area of support and reaccumulation. which is not a bad thing. It just means that, you know, that bull runs over, you know. This is called a blow off top, so that means it just went parabolic beyond support, like just unsustainable moves up, and then, you know, the reaction is you get a move down just as equally as violent as how it came up. But the difference to this time around was the top wasn't a blow off top, it was a Wyckoff distribution, which means it happened over a longer time. Like, we got these like fresh highs, and the lows were being sustained over a longer period of time. So in that way, yes, there was still a bit of a pullback, there was still a crash, but the energy wasn't nearly as violent as if it, let's just say the price did this instead to 60, like that, like more up and vertical, then there would have been a more vertical crash that followed it just as high. Like, the steeper it climbs, the harder it falls. But this was a nice gentle top, and then, you know, we were able to keep bullish sentiment, like, you know, optimistic sentiment, long enough for it to have a positive effect on the pullback. And, you know, we were able to catch the price down here. Not to mention, this time around, there's way more institutional involvement and eyes on the market, so they can see the potential. I mean, the reason Tesla has gone through the roof is because Tesla holds $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin at, I don't know where they bought in, but they announced it on this, they caused this green candle here, that really tall candle. I think that was a record day for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's never gone up $7,500 in one day. But the Tesla announcement was on that day. I think they caused that. That was the catalyst. So now, if they own $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, let's say they bought it at the start of that candle, or in that candle. Let's just count this up. Let's measure it. So from here, and yes, they did sell a bit up here. It wasn't all of it, but they sold a little bit. But let's see. It moved from there to here. That's 50%. So 1.5 billion plus 50% is, let's calculate it, 1.5 plus 50%. That's an extra $750 million. So now they're worth, you know, their Bitcoin went from 1.5 billion worth to 2.25 billion. So that's an incredible growth, and I think that's what caused the Tesla stock to go up crazy, because of their shares in Bitcoin, or, you know, what they hold in Bitcoin. Let's see, let's check the Tesla stock. Yeah, it's up above 1,000. It's gone into price discovery. So, and I'm sure there's other factors that are driving the Tesla price up, like probably a lot of FOMO as well. People seeing, oh wow, it's in price discovery, I'm going to jump on that boat and take advantage of it. So that's Tesla. They're a big whale in Bitcoin, as is MicroStrategy. I think MicroStrategy holds a lot more than Tesla. But here we are. And this is now showing, like, how the hell is Elon Musk the richest man in the world again? Like, because he slipped a few spots on that list. It's because he's a large holder in crypto and Bitcoin, so I think that impacts his net worth. Well, I think it's Tesla's shares going up has a direct impact on what he's worth as an individual. So that's showing the rest of the elite that, oh, crypto is a way to grow your wealth. Like, obviously, I mean, it's a rapid moving market. I don't think things are moving as rapid in the stock market world. That move up, let me just reopen that Tesla chart. I mean, as good as it is with Tesla, let's see, let's measure this move up. I mean, it's still probably still impressive. Yeah, 100%, damn. All right. So in 160 days, 100% up. That's a big deal in the stock market. How many people bought that double bottom there? Huh. It's like a good sign that, oh, look at that, and look at that resistance there. The fact that it found support above that resistance back here shows how bullish it is, you know, shows how the demand was there. Like the demand came in and held the price up higher than needing to back test, which is what could happen on Bitcoin, by the way. You know, if the demand is in Bitcoin, you're going to get so much buying happening on Bitcoin if the price does fall back to like around 54, 53,000. You know, it's gonna, surely there's gonna be people stepping in to buy it. Especially if they see Bitcoin going to 100,000 before the end of the year, which a lot of people are still calling for, 100K by the 31st of December 2021. So what should we look at now? Shiba. Damn, Shiba just keeps on giving. It's crazy. Check out that huge pennant there. Was that someone? Someone tried to say something.
Yeah, it's keep going like Shiba. Go ahead, please. Can't wait to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, alright, no worries. So, we started out with this massive pennant. Now, this was the coin burn. This is where they burned a whole bunch of Shiba tokens or coins, whatever it is. I think it's a coin. Maybe it's a token. Anyway, regardless, the supply got reduced, the circulating supply, which means the price climbed, obviously, and it hit resistance here, formed a massive bull pennant, which is very clear and obvious. And look at how beautiful that break of the pennant was. I don't think that was a further burn. That was just sentiment. That was just, oh, look at this Shiba. Look, this pattern was very clear. This huge pennant, and a lot of people were anticipating the break of that descending resistance. Then we got another one. Let's go back to the hourly. There was another sort of pennant formation. Now, the way you draw this, like some people might chop off the wicks and just take it to the candle bodies like that. And then, you know, even on the top side, just ignore the extreme wicks and just take it to the candle bodies, because that's where the majority of the price action is. But yeah, we got another pennant right there. And a similar result, like a break up. Like it went up out of that pennant. Now, pennants aren't always clean and clear and obvious like this old big one here, but and it is okay to chop off, like here's an example, it's okay to chop off like activity outside of the pattern. You know, it's never a clean cut, perfect like diagram of a shape. Sometimes it's a little rough. Like it's and you know, especially with this one, look how much activity we got outside of the shape here. But the overall idea is that we're getting this squeezing happening. Like that's the characteristic you're looking for, is that there's this reduction in volatility and it's squeezing up. It's like pulling back on a slingshot. You pull it back and then you release it, and then the energy just explodes, hopefully up. Now the way to sort of get the way to project and try to figure out where it's going to go is how it entered that pattern. So we entered it from a huge uptrend, and then it squeezed, and then this is a textbook bullish, what they call a bullish continuation pattern. So it broke out bullish as we sort of expected. So from here, let me delete this. Where to from here? Can we keep climbing? There was a bit of bearish divergence, which I think we've sort of paid for. Because when you get bearish divergence, you sort of have to deal with it and correct it on the oscillator. And I'm talking about the cipher here. So you can see the MACD is quite high here, but you get a lower high here. Thank you, Dakota Hold, for the subscription there. So that's lower highs on the oscillator, and even on the RSI we were getting like over this span here, it's lower highs. So that's bearish divergence because we've got higher highs on that peak. So I would be starting to just be cautious of this. It can still move up, like even with divergence, like as we know, Bitcoin has proved that. I mean, we're only down on the hourly time frame here, so a pullback caused by 1 hour bearish divergence might only take us back to previous like levels of support before climbing higher again, you know? So hours, we're a bit zoomed in, so I'm going to take it out to the daily and see if there's any kind of, I mean, check out that, like the histogram bars are still climbing. They're solid green. There's no hint of it slowing. So when you get the color change on the histogram, see how it goes from dark green to light green? That indicates, okay, maybe there's a pivot that's happened. We've met resistance and we're pulling back. So, and that's pretty much what happened here. Like we capped out at this high here. That was our all-time high back on, you know, October 7, and we had to peel off here and let those oscillators cool back down. So we did that nicely. The histogram leveled back out to 0, and then that gave us enough of a setup of the oscillator to go for that next rally up. So just based off the daily MACD here, it's still in a hike. It's still going up, obviously. The chart, it's pretty clear that it's going up. So let's see, momentum, we've got a momentum dot here. We had a break of the RSI band of, you know, if you have it set to 70, obviously it dipped below it and then broke up above it again. But yeah, on the daily, like the RSI is kind of looking a bit scary because we've got lower highs here, but higher highs, the corresponding price points. See that? That's bearish divergence, so just be careful of that. But once again, like maybe this bearish divergence just indicates that we're going to have a pullback and retest of support from a previous high, which is there. So this, yeah, once again, like this could be the start of tracing out a new pennant formation. Now let's check this out on the Fibonacci kind of viewpoint as well. So I'll get rid of the oscillators. We don't need those to draw out Fibonacci's. Okay, so trend-based Fibonacci extension. We're going to call that move 1, and then the pullback to support. Oh, that's tricky. If we go down to there, right, we've tagged the 1. Let me go to the 4 hour so it's a bit clearer. See that the move started here from this level of support. I'm going to call that point 1. Point 2 is the first level of resistance. Point 3 is the pullback to support, which is right there. And that's all you need for a trend-based fib extension, which is this tool. Trend-based fib extension. So you find that it's the third tool down, and you open up the little sidebar, and it's the second tool from the top. Trend-based fib extension. So all I've done to get it drawn across the price, I've just pulled that third little, you call these anchors, you just pull it across and line it up with the pullback, just so it's covering the price. And you know, lo and behold, see where it hit resistance right on the 1. So it's a 1-to-1 fib target. So that's like a target achieved type thing. That's a good thing, you know. Now we need to figure out, okay, well, if that was the low, if position 3 was the low, and we're calling this position 4 the new high, we can now draw a fib retracement. So this is a fib extension. I'll delete the extension, and now we'll do a retracement. So if you pick 3 as the low, you draw it up to the top of 4. you get these levels of what might be our support as we pull back. So if, yeah, that depends on this being the top of the trend, because this might not be the top of the trend. This could still rally up. We don't know yet, but just this, like, let's just play this exercise out. Let's just see if what it gives us. So a 0.5 pullback, just like with Bitcoin actually, a pullback to the 0.5 fib level matches up with a retest of the previous high here, number 2. So we've got move 1, move 2, move 3, move 4. So 4 is the second pullback on a 5-wave Elliott wave trend, like yeah, a 5-wave bull trend. So that's what I'm seeing at the moment on Shiba. It's got potential to run up to the 1618, which is up here. And by the way, like, we're in price discovery on Shiba. Let me delete all these drawings. The all-time high, well, it's a bit of an anomaly, to borrow that word from Jolt. It's an anomaly that when it got listed, it wicked up to $5,000. So that's how, well, if you want to get real technical, that's the all-time high, right? Because there was activity at 5,000. So if we're calling that the high, let me just get a line on there. I'll make it yellow just because it's not really the high that other markets saw, like other exchanges rather. But yeah, if that's the high that we're working with, we've pretty much come up and double topped. A little bit shy, 4,960, so just under 5,000. But yeah, if we convincingly get above 5,000, then it's like, okay, that's just pure price discovery, like the sky's the limit kind of thing. But yeah, to get that target, trend-based fib extensions are handy with that, like for setting up, like, where do you aim for when it's in price discovery. So if we're using that, once again, the 1618 is 6,700 with all the zeros in front of it. So that could be the top of the, if this continues to go parabolic, that's a pretty optimistic target there. And obviously there's levels beyond that. There's all these levels, like 2618, the 3618. Yeah, anyway, it's better to just sort of keep it in the realm of realism, I suppose, or what's like achievable and realistic. But yeah, boy is it looking bullish. Like all the lows are higher. Doesn't take an expert to see that. The highs are higher. We're getting all-time highs. We're going beyond that. I'm gonna turn on the log scale actually. But yeah, damn. Okay, if you ever notice that a crypto is doing this, is stuck between a range over an extended period of time like this is accumulation. This is an accumulation zone. You know, it doesn't want to break below support, a well-established support. The more times it comes and proves that it's support, the more confident the bulls get in buying, or investors get in buying that level. And then obviously there's the range, there's the top of the range, which is the highs that it can't get above. So when it breaks those highs of that rectangle, that box that it's stuck in, that is such a big psychological break. Like, it's a big deal, and it causes the momentum. But we all know that Shiba had that coin burn, which was the catalyst to it breaking out of that that pocket, that accumulation zone. So it is worth zooming out. Like, go on the daily chart, zoom out, and try to get an idea of the market structure. A lot of people tell me to look at new coins, like I think XYO is one of them. Let me just open up XYO. Go to the USDT, alphabetical, scroll at the bottom, XYO. Okay, So this is a new one. Let me go to the daily chart here. So this thing is still inside this major like pennant shape. We don't really know if it's going to break down or up, but it hasn't really gone through that sort of support discovery, like establishing a floor of support. It's still too new. You know, it may not go through a similar thing to Shiba where it sits along a line of support over time, but you know, if it loses volume, like the volume it's been getting, and it goes flat, like eventually it will bleed out to a level of support, you know, which might be here, or it could be here. But it's just too early to say where that established support level is. So XYO, it's still got potential, but it doesn't have the time on its side, like the time behind it that Shiba had to show that, oh yeah, this is our floor, you know. Bitcoin did it too. Like, let's go out to the daily, zoom right out. You can see the Bitcoin range, like the extreme lows to the extreme highs of that range. Yeah, there was a little bit of activity above it, but for the most part, like, this is where it was finding resistance for some time, and these were the extreme supports. And then, you know, you can squeeze this in even more because there was activity of support here, which was being like held here too. And then as far as resistance goes, you could probably pull this in tighter as well. To there, perhaps. I don't know. The top's not as clear, but yeah, you can see what I mean. It did a similar thing to Shiba, where it fell into a range and trended through there over a long period of time, which is like the classic accumulation phase. Like, this is what the back end of a bear market looks like. You know, just long accumulation over time. So if you can identify that on any asset or any coin, that shows you that that's where the smart money is accumulating it over time. They're causing this kind of structure here. They're not letting it come up too high, and they're not letting it fall too low, and they're just comfortable buying it in that range until something happens where it, you know, in this case it seemed to be the COVID-19 news, this pullback here and this spring, so it like had this slingshot effect and got us to break up through levels of previous resistance, like here, all that, and even the 20k resistance. That was a big deal on Bitcoin, breaking that previous high. So there we go. So as you can see on the daily chart, everything's looking kind of elevated, and don't invest in Shiba at this level. This is very high. Wait for a significant retracement or pullback off this move. You wanna get the MACD resetting and like cooled off again, like, and same with RSI on the daily. You know, you want that cool. The weekly, there's not even enough data to show a MACD result for the weekly just yet. Even the cipher and the RSI don't have a lot of information to go off. But yeah, it's pretty incredible. Honestly, anything can happen. Like, this could shoot up to, like, you know, 0.0005. Like, I don't know. Like, it's no one really knows what's happening in the background. Like, you know, what if all of a sudden they burn off a whole bunch more that hasn't been announced? You know what I mean? So anything can happen, but just based off technicals, it's testing this previous high here, and it has found resistance, and now it's gonna pull back and see if it can, you know, establish a level of support up high, and then retest that yellow line to see if it can get that price discovery, that pure price discovery. But yeah, according to a lot of other exchanges, I think their all-time high was more back here, like around 4,500 or even lower. So it is in price discovery, if you ask, you know, whatever other whatever Shiba existed on prior to Binance. So let's see. I'm gonna have a look at that actually. Shiba. Shib. All right. Where does it live? Market. Binance, Coinbase, Huobi, KuCoin. Yeah. If I go back to overview is fine. We want TradingView. This should have the oldest prices. So it's been out since the 10th of May. Oh, right. It came out after SNL, like just after SNL. And yeah, okay, so no, wait, that's the Binance chart. I think I have to go back to the price chart and say all to get the very first date. Okay, so we've got activity on back in August. Is that August, the 8th month? August. Yeah, the 2nd of August 2020. It's got price data. Jeez, that's crazy. Check out, yeah, wow, the volume was pretty low. $19,000 volume for the day. $2,000, yeah, that's so low. That's like basically when it was an unknown. It was just nothing, like, you know, no one really knew about it except the people that made it and the people they told about it or whatever. And it probably only existed on the DeFi space, like on the swaps, like Pancake Swap and Sushi, like Sushi Swap, and what's that other one? Uniswap, yeah, things like that. So, was this high? This was the 10th of May. Oh yeah, that was the listing to Binance, I believe. Now with this, you can actually pull this in. You can zoom in on a spot and then so that you can actually pinpoint that high. So that's saying 3,500 as the old all-time high for Shiba. Whereas Binance was calling up more like 5,000. So maybe that is an anomaly that we are to ignore. And the true all-time high is this. 3.5. So what happened when we broke 3.5? Aha. Okay. So that was the double top of the old all-time high. If we're calling 3,500 the high, and this here was us breaking that high. So this, yeah, all of this is price discovery if you're referencing the CoinMarketCap price information. All right. Check some other coins. But yeah, I wish I could give you guys like a clearer kind of idea on what will happen with Shiba. Obviously, there's a lot of people that would just, they're investors and they believe in it long term, and they're just, you know, they're looking at the stars, they're looking at the moon basically with it, and they think that this is just the beginning, which it could be, you know. And then there's the more cynical, like bearish type people, like they're just like, oh yeah, this is just a pump and dump, like, you know, be careful, like don't enter it, you know, you've heard those people before. And then there's the middle ground, what's the realistic, because you got pessimistic, realistic, and then optimistic. So what actually usually happens is more so somewhere in the middle of the bearish and bullish scenarios. Yeah, it's kind of exciting to see where it could go. It could get to, you know, it could jump up and get to 1. See how it's at half? It's at, so 0.0001. So working with 3 zeros instead of 4 zeros in front of us would be the next, like, big deal. And that would be up here. I'll make that. That's like a very optimistic target there. But I don't see why it couldn't be achieved. It just has to go up 100% from here. I think. Yeah, if it gets to 5,000, yeah, it's another 100% up to get to that 0001. Yeah. Alright, so what would it have to do to move up 100%? What's its current market cap? It's 18.7 billion, so it needs to garner another 18.7 billion to go up 100%. Let's check where it's at on the leaderboards here. Shiba, it's come up to 11th. Wow, look at that. It really is hunting down Dogecoin. It's so and Bulls on
does
Parade
deserve the nickname of the Dodge Killer now, right?
If it gets above Doge, yeah, you could say that it did kill Doge. You know, it was the Doge killer and it achieved its goal. But it doesn't. Elon Musk was clear on that tweet. He was like, he has 0 Shiba Inu, like he's a Dogecoin holder, not a Shiba Inu holder. So Dogecoin, that's the Elon one. Shiba is the. I mean, I don't know who's driving that, but it's definitely got a community behind it, and it's gone up crazy in the last 7 days, 70% up. So yeah, it's definitely on the climb, and it could pose a threat to Doge and get above it. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe they just sort of take turns, like being on one going on top, one, you know, whatever. So the cutoff, I'm not saying that there's any target with Shiba. I'm not saying that it can't get beyond the 3 zeros. I'm just saying that's a big psychological deal. If it makes it up to 0.0001, that is like a, you know, it's kind of like saying 1 cent is a goal as well. And by the way, Shiba can get to 1 cent if the supply gets cut down. Because look at that supply. I'll highlight it. That's, okay, that's 100,000 millions, billions, okay, trillion. It's 394 trillion market cap. It needs to cut, like, imagine if the market cap got cut back down into just the billions, you know? What if they burned off 300 trillion of it? Anyway, that's the like the what ifs, you know, like if this happens, then this can happen. But yeah, I don't know what they plan on doing. Like, who are the team behind Shiba? Have they announced any future plans to burn anything? Or, I mean, let's check their website out, shibatoken.com.
Something tells me Elon Musk is behind it. I'm just my gut.
Really? Because he's publicly said that he's not, and that he's not involved. That'd be kind of misleading. But anyway, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who really knows? It's tweets and replies.
What if he doesn't own any, but his wife does, or his kids?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's just emitting details rather than, yeah. He's pretty active on Twitter. You have to scroll through a lot to try and find where he was saying none about the Shiba Inu. I don't know what that means. Wild times. T1? What does that mean? $sign T1.
Yeah, I was stuck on that one too, but I had no idea what that meant when it came through.
Yeah, it's cryptic. I mean, the replies, someone's gonna say what it's all about. I mean, most of the replies are about Doge and Shiba. When people reply to any of his tweets, they're just like, say something about Doge. You know what I mean? They want to get some kind of action out of him. Michael Saylor. I think it's funny how there's like this little like group of people that they all sort of like take little stabs at each other. Like Elon stabs at, and I think it's just all playful. Elon stabs at Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor stabs back at him, and then Jeff Bezos, and yeah, it's funny. Anyway. bloody elitist.
I see Elon stabbing at Bezos a lot.
Yeah, he commented like the little silver medal emoji in reply to Jeff Bezos's one of his tweets or whatever. Yeah, so it's worth doing some research on Shiba, I guess, you know, like just jump onto YouTube. Let me just Shiba. Like this, right? You can see there's so many videos about it. People with news, people that cover the fundamentals, even people that cover technical analysis, like Coins Kid. He's a really good channel. Check out Coins Kid. He has some pretty good analysis. That was 9 hours ago, this video. So, and his analysis very macro. Like he's on the 4-hour chart, the daily. You know, he doesn't really go into the 15, the 5-minute, the scalping situation. But yeah, he's talking long term, more like the longer term plays. Yeah, just try to find any kind of informational based videos where they're talking about anything that's on the cards for it, like fundamentally. Yeah.
What's that guy's name again?
Coins Kid. So I'll type it out into the YouTube chat, Coins Kid, and also I'll put it in the Discord general chat as well. Coins. There you go. Oh wow, there's some people tipping me crypto in the Discord, so appreciate that, guys. Thank you for that. Oops and Osom and I'm way too blazed. Thank you, guys. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Appreciate that. Alright, so where are we? Been talking about Shiba for some time now. Let's have a look at something else. So basically this is like sit back and watch the show. Like we don't really, there's no real clear indication of it slowing down just yet. It's still looking healthy to move higher. Like I'm sure it's gonna have a, you know, there's a strong chance of it having a good day today as well, like going back up into price discovery. It looks kind of like it's wanting to start climbing again, even now. But yeah, so far this AR, Engine, SNX, Blocktopia, Alpha, okay. Nothing too crazy yet. I mean, 5%'s a good start for an hour in, an hour and 11 minutes into the daily candle. That's almost 6% up. AR. Phantom, yeah, I like Phantom. XYO, what's XYO doing? Past, yeah. Not a hell of a lot. It's just bleeding out. But yeah, this overall macro wedge is what I'm looking at with XYO, and it's still very much inside of that. It's just losing volatility, you know, it's like slowly as it moves down toward the apex, but hopefully that produces a breakout up. But yeah, just keep your eyes on it. That's XYO. Let's just do a quick look at a whole bunch of different coins, and not spend too much time on it, but just get an overview on what's happening. Let's go alphabetical, maybe. Cardano, not a hell of a lot's happening there. It's definitely reducing down to a point. It's losing that volatility, and it is squeezing. You can see that, like the energy is just coming down and down and down until some kind of breakout has to happen. Hopefully up. Yeah, ADA. Matic. I'll have a look at Matic. Someone's saying Matic. Okay, that's broken out of this these lines of resistance. Like whichever point you were drawing it from, it's above it. So it's now gunning up for the 618 fib level, which is the Fibonacci level that very commonly acts as resistance. So just be aware of that. It could find resistance at that level and then pull back to a previous high, looking for support before, you know, reattempting to push through it. But yeah, that's the way to use fibs. Fibs aren't about telling you where it's going to stop or where it's going to where a good buy or sell is. It's just about just gauging levels and what kind of action characteristically, behaviorally, like how does the market behave at each level. I know that this level is a big hurdle to get through. So just when price is falling, it acts as a really good support. When price is climbing, it acts as a really good resistance. So breaking through it is a big deal, like it's significant. And yeah, it's definitely on Matic, we're approaching that. We have to get through that that traffic jam. So from here, let's just see what happens. It's broken that previous high, which is excellent, and it is on a climb. So you know, we've got our higher lows on Matic, and we've got our higher highs now. So, and that's on the macro scale. So it's in an uptrend, and it's got a lot of potential. So that's one to look at. Another one is Harmony 1. I want to see how that's going. 1. Wow. Okay, now that's beautiful price discovery there. Targets, geez. Let's do a trend-based fib extension, just a rough one, just to sort of get an idea of what might happen. Okay, so it's reached the target 1, and it's probably going to keep climbing, but no guarantees, of course. There's never a guarantee in crypto, as we all know. That could be the top, like, you know, it could have capped out and it starts to fall, but price discovery is price discovery. There's no previous resistance up this high. We've only got, you know, the fear of the market, the sentiment of the market. If we stay bullish on Bitcoin and, you know, the market continues to grow, that gives the room that the alts need to, you know, keep growing in value. Keep your eye on trend lines as well. Like, there seems to be a trend here, just in this recent sort of push up. It's got these lows that it's making. So 3 touches is better than 2, like to establish a trend. So you got the first touch here, second touch here, producing the target for this bounce here. So that's looking good. It's climbing up. You know, price to beat, if you look on the micro, like if you zoom in, let's go to the 15-minute chart. That's the price to beat, of course. That's our all-time high at the moment. Old all-time high becomes just a point of support, or a possible point of support, and we draw in our new all-time high here like this. Okay, that's what we got. Now, a high to a low. Now, this is a micro Fibonacci retracement that I'm about to do. That is where, if you're confident that was, obviously that's the high, and if you're confident that's the lowest we're going to dip after that high, then you can draw a fib retracement to try and find where the resistances are and where we've stopped. And you can see that golden pocket is the key kind of level to get above. You know, 50% is halfway there, right? That's clear and obvious. But getting above 65, that's a very good sign that things are looking optimistic. Like punching through that zone, it's like beyond doubt, beyond reasonable doubt, I guess. Like that things have gone bullish. See, if something's 50-50, it's like, you're kind of on the fence. Like, if price is hanging around 50% and it's finding resistance, it's like, yeah, it could really go either way. But when you start breaking above the golden pocket, the 61.8, it goes beyond the doubt of it going higher, you know? Like, that's just... You've got a majority vote, like, that the price has gone above, you know? You've got the majority of resistance behind you, in other words. And then the last little hurdle's the 786, which is... It doesn't usually prove to be that difficult to get through as compared with the golden pocket. So yeah, this is the real test, getting above that. Yeah, you could say that was a bit of a rejection by it, but didn't quite make it there. It just depends where you trace this down to, because you can see how it changes, like, based on where you call the high and low. But I just take it to the extremes, like the extreme high of the top and the extreme low of the pullback, right down to the wick. So that's Harmony 1. It's looking good. Keep your eye on that trend line, and if it breaks below it, I wouldn't be as bullish, at least for the short term. It's all about maintaining higher highs and higher lows to stay bullish, and if you're a bear, it's about maintaining lower highs and lower lows to stay bearish, you know? That's inherently that's what trends are, until proven that there's a pivot, like a shift in the trend, like a head and shoulders, like this, like a higher high than the first lower high. That's the first hint that there's a pivot, a change in direction of the trend to a downtrend. So yeah, there's no evidence of that just yet. There's no head and shoulders on the, let's say, the hourly chart. Like, the only concerning thing is, like, it's the best part of the move, like the best entries are behind us, so to speak, at least on the shorter time frame here. So we just have to wait and see how that goes. Now, let's have a look at another altcoin. So we've looked at Matic, we've looked at Harmony. Let's check out. Let's go back up to ENJ, because that's been doing well this morning. It's up 8.5%. Look at that. Beautiful. What's its all-time high? Oh wow. Okay, so if it gets above that, that's the obvious traffic that it has to get through. That previous high there. If it can get through that, then, you know, there's some more pivoting here to get through, a little bit of action here, and then there's obviously that one. There's quite a lot of road ahead for it to go back into pure price discovery, which is getting above the all-time high of $4 for ENJ. But I'm going to get rid of this shape because that's old information that we don't need. There is a trend line here, like a really long-term sort of trend that goes through there, something like that. I might use a ray for that so that we just have it indefinitely as the future plays out. So that's, you know, that line is significant until it gets broken, and that's when it becomes, you know, not invalid, but, you know, it's not holding as support. So it's a key level to follow, though, because we have got a lot of activity off that line. And then with the climb up, let's do a fib retracement. So from all-time high, I'm going to use the weekly chart just to get those points. Just makes it easier to lock onto those points when you use the weekly. There we go. Those are the extremes. Let's scroll it across the price. Hit OK. Lock it in so that you don't accidentally move it. The little padlock tool. And then let's go back to the daily. Alright, so we're gunning for that 0.5 fib level. I'm pretty confident with a move like this up, you know, especially with Bitcoin bringing all that money back into crypto, right? Like the total market cap has climbed up to new highs, right? So there's a lot of value back in the market, crypto, you know, in reference to crypto. So the alts are going to start seeing activity based off past performance, right? Like Bitcoin moves first, and then all of that money gets taken from profit off Bitcoin and then flows into the rest of the market. So, and that's why the alts are starting to see activity. ENJ is just an example of that right now. Yeah, so just if you're playing ENJ, just look at the bigger picture and understand that there could be resistance here at the previous pivots. And that's the same with any chart you're looking at. You know, just zoom out, look at the previous pivot points, and that's what you're working to get through. There's gonna be activity at this 618 if it gets to that level, because look at that. It was not only is it the Fibonacci level, but it's also a point of a major pivot in the past. You know, there was resistance at $2.90 or $2.88, whatever you want to call that. Okay, so yeah, whatever's happening here, there is another trend line. Let's have a look at that, and we're probably just about breaking through it, I would say. If you use this pivot here right there, and then that, yeah, we just broke through it. So there was this wedge forming, and yeah, I do see that I'm ignoring the all-time high. But if let's incorporate the all-time high. Let's see, is there any kind of shape that got, yeah, okay, just here, that was a break and then a back test. Now it's climbing. It's another significant shape to draw out. But you see, when you draw lines, sometimes it's like, oh, you have to make a sacrifice. Like, what pivot do I ignore to get perspective on what's happening here? So you could, yeah, it's okay to have a couple of lines drawn in as possible levels of resistance. Like, you know, this could be the first trend that's been broken, because it's quite a sharp, steep trend. And then this one here is the second trend, which it's also broken through, and now we're seeing action out like on top of that trend. So that's a good start. And then you've got this previous high here. If we can break above that, that's the third example of resistance being broken, like significant resistance. But yeah, like just the same with a lot of other alts. Engine has a lot of room ahead of it to get back to its all-time high. If you're confident that the alts are going to go back into, you know, all-time high territory in price discovery, then this thing has a lot of potential. It could move up another 84% to its previous high if it goes back into price discovery at some point. I know this thing saw a lot of love this year, just like the same with a lot of alts, but I mean, from the start of the year to its all-time high, that went up almost 3,000%, basically 3,000% up. That's awesome. So it's a high achiever. Another, let me see, EGLD is another interesting one. It got back to all-time high quite early. It was something that moved up and created its all-time high back in September. That was Bitcoin's first move off the 30k support, September, like capping out at up here. So it made, see how Bitcoin had move 1, like bull move 1, and then this is bull move 2. There's some alts that achieved new highs in this part of the market, this bull wave 1. And then there's alts that are going to make their all-time highs in bull wave 2. Now, if Bitcoin goes into a third wave, a third bull wave up, which is the wave 5 of the Elliott wave count, there's going to be alts that get their all-time high in that part of the move, Bitcoin's move, you know? It's all about, like, you know, different timings, I guess. Some things move earlier than others, like when the market goes bullish. And I've heard people describe it as, you know, it's it's Bitcoin first, and then it flows into the high caps, and then the mid caps or medium caps, and then the shit coins, the low caps. And that's the flow of value. It comes out of fiat or stable coins into Bitcoin, and then it loops back. Like profits off the crazy moves either come back into Bitcoin or back into the dollar, depending on, you know, whether Bitcoin's gone completely bearish, like whether it's in a huge bear trend or not. So during these phases where the money's seeing, like where the alts are seeing action, Bitcoin is losing dominance, right? That's why people track the dominance chart. They keep an eye on that, just to see like the moments where the alt season, this, you know, these quote unquote alt season starts, is when, yeah, Bitcoin loses that dominance and the rest of the market pulls some of that share toward themselves. Let's see. Yeah, money flowing back off these gains, like off the alts making gains and people taking profit off that. The bull run continues if those profits circle back into Bitcoin and drive Bitcoin higher. But when Bitcoin did this huge pullback, all of that value off the total market cap was flowing back into fiat. It was leaving crypto. It wasn't even going into the stable coins. It was going into actual fiat currencies. Like, and you know, from there, who knows where it went? Like probably into the stock market. I don't know. But the point is, yeah, like trying to track where the bulk of the money is at any given time. Like, or you know, obviously it took fiat to bring it up. Let me open up the total market cap, because that sort of shows things a little clearer. And the total market cap chart looks similar to Bitcoin's chart, because Bitcoin's obviously the dominant crypto. So here we go. I've been speaking for an hour and 27 minutes so far, so thanks for tuning in, guys. There's like 79 of you at the moment. Remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. That would definitely help the channel out a lot. So, yeah, I mean, check it out. Total market cap is still up. Like, we're still in this overall move up. There has been no significant, like, rejections at resistance. You know, we've got our highs, sure, but every uptrend creates highs along the way. You know, it doesn't mean it's the end of the trend. I think this is still very much, and if you zoom out further again, we're still very healthy in an uptrend. So it's looking good until, let's see, what would break the trend? That would be if you get something like this, like a head and shoulders or something, you know, a lower low to begin with and a lower high. That's what, those are the key elements that show or that prove that the trend is over and that, you know, you've gone bearish. And that's, I mean, that's what happened back here on Bitcoin, you know. Okay, high, higher high, higher high again, highest high. Here's the evidence, the first little sign or evidence. Actually, this was the first sign of evidence. Was that the temperature has changed. You know, something's changed, something's shifted. I'm just circling all the major moves here. So we've got the highs. I won't label them all, but and then these are the lows. But you can see the combination here, like the pattern is that the lows were getting higher, but then look, this was the first sign that, oh, we've just made a lower low on the bigger scale. And then this was like the nail in the coffin here. Oh, the highs have also seen a lower high. It's gone from getting higher, 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 higher to the first lower high. So that should have been warning like around here when we were pulling back that, oh, you know, the bull trend is over and we're going into a bear trend, because this is a bear trend. You got lower highs and lower lows, but you know, establishing support at 30k was awesome, because then we started these macro higher lows, higher highs, so to speak, you know. So until that gets broken, we're bullish, right? That's the point. And that's how you know, are we in a bull market or a bear market? It's kind of subjective. It depends who you ask. A bull market is just higher highs, higher lows. A bear market's lower highs, lower lows over an extended period of time. Now, if you're getting that information, if you're using the daily chart as the time frame to identify those trends, then yeah, that's a way to tell whether you're in a bull market or bear market. But like, speaking in terms of on the monthly chart for Bitcoin's been in a bull market since like its inception back in 2009 or 2010 or whatever, you know. Like when you look at the bigger picture, see how the context matters. The context matters. You know, you could call a bear market on the 5-minute chart, like this section here, that's a bear move. Like you got lower highs over time and lower lows over time. Definitely a lower low there. So that, yeah, that is a bear trend. So can you see like how calling bull market bear market, it's kind of wishy-washy. Like it really depends on the context of what you're doing. If you're an investor in Bitcoin, there's, you know, we haven't seen any kind of bear market. It's just all been bullish the whole time. If you're a scalper, you're focusing on the lower time frames, the micro trends. Like this trend here is all like quite a scary bear trend that we want to see the end of as traders. You know, this produced a lot of awesome trading over the past couple of days or whatever, you know. So that's the difference. So yeah, don't get too hung up on people saying bull market, bear market. Obviously at the moment, the general consensus is that we're in a bull market. You know, go on YouTube, you can see everyone's, like, all of the traffic, all of the interest and eyes on the market are coming back. I don't know what this is all about. Alex Cobb, strong rug pull incoming. I'm sorry, but this is clearly a Ponzi. No idea what he's talking about there. Anyway, something's popping off today, no doubt. Secret is up 82% for the last 7 days. Let's check out the 24-hour Hollow. So Hot and Shiba are performing really well. Maybe he's referring to Shiba. I don't know. All right, let's go back. Let's dial back to Shiba. So Shiba's still looking healthy at the moment. Still heading up until you get signs of it, you know, pulling back. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. If it can't get above here, then that's a sign that, okay, it's going to start seeing a downtrend, you know, and that it's kind of would spell out a head and shoulders, you know, if it did this. But that's an early call to make, because it's still technically climbing here. So it just needs to get, to maintain the trend, you have to get above this. Like that's the requirement to stay bullish. It has to get above that. The lows, yeah, they all pass. This is a bit kind of, this is like a double bottom here, which is enough to keep the trend going. But yeah, this is an important part of the move is this, right? Like right now, we have to get above that on Shiba to stay bullish. And that's, by the way, that's on a 15-minute context, right? So that's short time frame. This is short time frame. Hourly is different again. 4 hourly, like it's, yeah, it really just always remember to keep in mind what context am I looking at the chart through, like, because everything can have different outcomes and sort of suggest different directions. Let's see what other. I just want to see what's trending so far. So that, yeah, Engine is just doing really well. ENJ. Let me get these drawings here. Wrong button. So ENJ is an NFT related crypto, I'm pretty sure. Damn, it's really gunning. It's gunning up for that that previous high, which is right here. If it gets above that, then it's, yeah, it's the trend will continue to climb, of course. But that's what it needs to get above. That's the writing on the wall, so to speak. Let's draw that in right there. I'll just make it dashed so we can tell the difference. Sometimes if you have solid lines, it can get a bit confusing when you've got a fib retracement that's up on the chart. Yeah, wow, look at that. In the last however many minutes I've been talking, this thing has gone sky high. Basically during my entire stream, because I've been streaming for an hour and 37 minutes, this thing has just been on the incline. Very cool. Oh yeah, Solana. Thank you for saying that. Forgot about Solana. How could I? Let's go back to the so well. There we go. Okay, this thing achieved a new all-time high, though it wasn't crazy high compared to the previous one. It wasn't a huge price discovery. It went up what, 1% above the previous high. Kind of did like a similar thing to what Ethereum did when it went up into price discovery. It was like, oh, it barely made it or something. Let me just check here. That's the previous high. I'm gonna make that blue. Get rid of that green line. Go down to the hour chart. Okay, so above its previous all-time high, which was 216 bucks, it went up 1.3%. That's nothing. That's not like a big price discovery breakout. So that's I guess that's another feature you have to be careful of. Just because it's gone into price discovery doesn't mean you're gonna get a 20% or 30% run up, you know? You might only get a brief little bit of action above the high. So the cool thing is though, with Solana, it's maintaining. There seems to be a bit of a trend going on here, bottom side. I need to delete some of these lines so I can see better. Yeah, it actually broke. It broke what would have been a trend here, but it's back up on top of it, so that's, maybe you could call that a fake out, fake down. Yeah, okay, so on the bigger picture, higher lows and higher highs. Now these highs aren't very, like this second high here isn't very impressive compared to that previous high. A 1.4% increase. I mean, it's still something, but yeah, we want to see a convincing breakout. We want to bust out of this range of $218 to, you know, let's get above 220 and really start climbing up. Let me just use a trend-based fib extension tool as an example. Let's call, yeah, maybe this low here, up to that high, back to that low. Yeah, 250 bucks. That'd be nice, like to come up here and test the orange line as a one-to-one extension. That'd be sweet. 250. Why not? Let's do it. But yeah, I like long term, I really like Solana, as you all know. I say it in every stream. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and see how it's trending. It's got about $8 billion to get on top of Tether, to get above and take that 5th spot. And then it's got another, and then it's, yeah, it's not far to hunt down Cardano. It's definitely like trying to chase it down. It's quite a distance above XRP, but if XRP decides to start moving like back to that, you know, $2 level, and damn, they're all fighting for that market share, you know. Yeah, ENJ, I think that's today's, or this morning's star. Still shooting up. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Yeah, look at that. Crazy trend. Every minute that ticks by, there's a new push. Don't let me like encourage you guys to like FOMO, because like buying in on this, that's called FOMO, obviously. You're buying the green. That's what perpetuates these runs, by the way. Retail, like people that don't really know what they're doing, like buying the green, like FOMOing in. Even I do it sometimes, like I'll FOMO into things. Not with all my account, but just with some money, you know. Just as much as I'm willing to play with. But yeah, like always use your common sense, I guess. Like when something's going up vertical like this and it's like it's already happened, don't play with it with huge positions. Like just understand that, oh, you've missed the best entry. You know, either if you really want to make like some trades on it, wait for it to pull back to support, like to a level of support first, and then enter, or just play with money that you're prepared to lose, basically, because this thing can retrace at any moment, like. And that's, you know, that's scalping. That's the realm of scalping. It's kind of could be risky because crypto is quite volatile on the small scale. Like it can go anywhere, like all over the place. 1 hour chart, ENJ. Yeah, look at that. It's just a vertical shot. Like, look at this. Look how many people might have bought into this climb here. Like, you know, leverage scalping or something, and then boom, this huge depression, pullback here. Enough to sort of shake you out at least, if not liquidate you if you're playing with too high a leverage. So yeah, just always be aware that buying into something that's so vertical and green like that is not, it's a risky play, you know. Like expecting another hourly candle that goes up and up and up and up like that, that's not trading. That's kind of like just buying something and crossing your fingers, you know. It's like gambling. So just be careful. Play the setups, you know, play the patterns that you see on the chart. You know, if something's squeezing, you can go, ooh, I anticipate this thing to break out. And then you know, when it starts to break, you enter on the confirmation of a breakout, you know, when something breaks resistance. Like here we go. If we go on the 4-hour chart, let's say if you want to be a breakout trader, that's a point to get above this pivot here, that dotted yellow line. If price breaks above that, that's confirmation that it's gone higher than support, especially if it pulls back and starts trending as support on that previous pivot point. That's a very bullish sign. So buying in those kind of conditions is better than trying to jump in during an uptrend, like during an impulsive move like this. But yeah, isn't it beautiful though? It's very appealing. I know I've been there. Like, it's very attractive to try and jump in for these quick returns, like this quick result. You know, you're looking for instant gratification. Like, you know, it's like that. That's what these moves produce, is like instant gratification. But they can be very tragic as well. If you're a trader that does this every day, you're gonna get burned eventually. If you just look for things that are just popping, you know, you're a trend trader. You just try not to be like that. You might get lucky here and there, but the better traders, the smart money, they identify setups, like things that are set up and primed to do something, and that's like you know, trading the breakout of resistance. So yeah, look at this, like right here, this is a good example. There was resistance here, very clean and clear. The writing was on the wall. That's the resistance to get above. It broke that. So if you even a safe trade would be, okay, yeah, it's got above that point, but I want to see a back test. So here's the back test. Peeled back, found support here. Maybe as a safer trader, you would enter on the back test. Okay, there's evidence that it's used that as support. Now I'm going to get in and ride this thing. So if you had bought that pullback there, you'd be up 5.4%, like from that, around that zone there, entering on the pullback, the back test, to, you know, capping up here. And it is still moving up, but yeah, those are the better moments to get in on, these pullbacks. See, here's one here, there's a pullback, here's a pullback. This won't go up forever, there will be a pullback at some point. So yeah, and that's the same with anything that's trending. So right now it's finding resistance. Don't know where at, but it is around here. What is that? Let's go to the higher time frame. Daily. Okay, this pivot here is producing a bit of resistance, perhaps. Go to the 4-hour chart. There we go. I'm gonna delete these squiggles. If I draw a horizontal line at that pivot there, that's the resistance point. Go back to like the 1 minute chart. Yeah, okay, yeah, we saw a little bit of action above it, but for the most part, I think that's a retest and like a double top rejection. So here we go, here's a pullback. Now remember, every entry is risky. No matter where you get in, there's always a chance that, oh yeah, it could go down again. So play it safe, guys, and have your wits about you. Don't get carried away by emotion and greed. And if you're rushing to get into something, it's probably because you're trading impulsively and emotionally. You know, if you spring out of bed because you saw on your phone that Solana's running up, or Atom, or whatever coin, and you're rushing to the computer to make a trade. You're acting on impulse and emotion and greed. Like, you don't want to miss out. It's FOMO, right? But yeah, the better trades come after doing a bit of analyzing and just trying to rule out as much doubt as you can and get as much support into, you know, you've got to measure what you're doing. It takes time to actually, like, what do you call it? You come up with reasoning, you know. Tuggy Pepper, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Hey Rick, if you thoughts on Phil and INJ, no worries, man. I'll have a look at Filecoin and INJ. But yeah, zoom back out here. That's meeting a bit of resistance at the moment, so maybe let that cool off before you touch it. Now FIL, Filecoin. Ooh, okay. Let me go to the high time frame here. So that's Filecoin. That's got a bunch of lows over long spans of time that it seems to be respecting at this point. So right now it looks like it's reapproaching this support line on Filecoin. You know, like it's trending back down, perhaps to get back in touch with that support, just to make sure it'll hold before getting on a climb again, hopefully up. But yeah, like right now it's still in part of a downtrend, because it's got a high, a lower high. Even if you call that a high there, these are all lower highs. It is on a downswing, so the next move, maybe you could project that the next move is an upswing. Like, what's after a down? An up. What's after an up? A down. So that's what you'd be anticipating. So yeah, like the next major move, I feel, on Filecoin would be up, because it's spent quite a bit of time here peeling back to levels of support. If you go down to the hourly chart, yeah, you can see the levels of support that it's been sitting at, like through there, something like that. Support. Bit of a descending triangle. Entered from an uptrend. Descending triangle. So yeah, a retest of this trend line here could be on the cards, but yeah, you could see some kind of a break. Well, it will break out shortly, because look at this. It's reaching and it's drawing to an apex. It's currently being squeezed. Now breakout, I don't mean like all-time high climb. I just mean it's going to break out of this current squeeze that's happening over the past few days. It's been squeezing since the 9th. We're now at the 27th of October, so it's quite a long time to be like losing steam and like knuckling down to an apex, which will happen around November. So it's promising. I like Filecoin. It's been around for a while, but check out the moves it's done in the past. Like, it's got a lot of headroom. So if it does start going on a climb again, there is a long way up before it starts, you know, meeting all-time high resistance levels, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's my outlook on it at the moment. Let's check this high over here. Just do it by eye. To the lowest point. Okay. So it's met resistance at around the 382 fib level, and now it's battling to get back up on top of the 236. So it hasn't quite gone into a climb yet. Like, all of this has just been squeezing down, you know, losing energy, bleeding out. but that will stop eventually. The bleed out will stop and it'll find support and go either more chopping sideways or up. I don't think it's, you know, something devastating would have to happen fundamentally for Filecoin to lose that support and start trending back down to zero. I mean, zero is right there, that zero line. It won't go down to zero. That means it's, you know, done and dusted and everyone sold everything. But yeah, it looks good, man. Like, I reckon you'll see a nice move on Filecoin in the when it'll happen, I don't know, but I think it's got a lot of potential up. It's got more potential up than down. That's what I think. You know, either the coming days or weeks ahead for Filecoin. Now, INJ is the other one you're asking about. INNN. I don't have INJ. I'm going to add it in. Similar kind of chart to Filecoin. It's a little different. I mean, it's got this support line here. See, like, sometimes you have to chop things off a bit to make more sense. Let's see. Zoom in here on that. So ignoring the past here a bit and looking more in the recent price action, there's like obviously this pivot here and then this low here. Even within that, on the more micro scale, there is like a trend going like that as well. Right, so this is the all-time high for it. Right there. Let's do a fib retracement from all-time high to all-time low, or sorry, the lowest point after that all-time high. So here, yeah, like that. Okay, so rejection at the 0.5 fib here. It was on the climb of the reapproach to the 0.618, but didn't quite make it. Fell backwards. Yeah, okay, it's in at least a better spot to like in a climb as compared with Filecoin. It's further along its journey to climbing back up than Filecoin right now. INJ is, so, which means you could argue that Filecoin has more potential then, because it hasn't taken off yet, whereas this already has. It's already gotten above the 236, and you know, it's knocking on the door of the 382. You know, it's at least the ship is on its launched off its launch pad, so to speak, and it's climbing. So INJ, not bad. Try to draw in these trend lines just like I've done. So go, maybe even on the 4 hour, you could, like, you know, reset your chart out and just follow these lows up, because that's the trend line that it's currently on. Low, 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 and it's, you know, it's climbing up. As soon as you break this trend line, that's when it's like, oh, you know, bummer, this uptrend is threatening to end, and we could be pivoting backwards, like moving back. So yeah, keep an eye on that, and you want to see like these highs climbing in as well. Tuggy Pepper, $2 super chat. Rick, thank you, appreciate that so much. You're welcome, man, my pleasure. Thank you for the super chats, appreciate that. All right, so now I'm thinking INJ and Filecoin. Where does Filecoin sit on the leaderboard? Like, it's number what? It's ranked number 29. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's top 50, right? There it is. Its market cap's 7.4 billion. You know, you can see the things that it has to hunt down to get above. It's got some pretty big names. It's got AXS, Phantom, VeChain, Stellar. Yeah, I mean, the higher you climb, the bigger the names get. But yeah, like, just ask yourself, does it belong above those other tokens? You know, is its value is it undervalued right now? Might see some more action. Sam Fabia with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Sam. Appreciate that. There's no writing in your super chat at all, but if you did have a question, just feel free to type it out and I'll read it out. Or if yeah. Anyway, regardless, thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. All right, INJ Shiba. So Shiba is still looking okay. The last time we were looking at it, it was what? It was around here. Yeah, that's right. It was peeling off that high. So far so good. It's still looking good. We have to get above that, remember. I think, honestly, like, it's so close to hitting that 5,000 Shiba Toshis, or whatever you want to call it, that, you know, it looks like testing the big 5000 is on the cards, and it would be a damn shame if it turned around here and didn't quite make it. I mean, we've seen that before. We've seen things fail before, you know, touching that big round number. So there's a bit of fear at this level. People are like, oh, I don't know if it's going to get there. I better take some profit. And that's why there's this, like, slowing of momentum at the moment. Crazy Hot Dog, thank you so much for the 50 DKK. I'm not sure what currency that is. Let me Google that. Oh, Danish krone. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. That's about $10 Australian. $10.37. Stellar Network. XRP. Okay, let's have a look at those two. So XRP. Now XRP, I think it's still hanging around that $1.10, isn't it? XRP, yeah, $1.11. Hasn't really moved today at this stage. Yeah, damn, has it been hanging around this area? It's been quite sluggish to look at. It broke out of that falling wedge nicely and trended up, but couldn't quite get back into that. It's honestly, I think it's like that that court case is still having a negative impact, like the fact that it just can't quite get off the starting line. There's a bit of a trend line there. There are, yeah, you could argue some kind of a support trend here, higher lows. Maybe a bull pennant, fingers crossed for the XRP people out there. Yeah, this around $1 to $1.10 has proven to be quite magnetic for XRP. Like, it just can't leave this zone. There's like this gravitational pull around this area. It's just sort of hanging. But yeah, like when an XRP trend goes off, it'll be a big deal, I think. I want to see it go up just as much as all the other XRP bulls, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so far nothing too spectacular just yet. Now Celer, C-E-L-E-R. Celer, C-E-L. Okay, descending triangle. Chopping off all those wicks. previous all-time high where the pink line is, acting as support here and here. So we've come up, we've been rejected by the trend, and we've bounced backwards off that for now, and perhaps we'll come back and get in touch with that support again before breaking out. But that'd be the line to look at. Keep an eye on this trend here, and we need to get you know, above it. It's kind of like, where do you draw that trend though? Like it's not very clean, is it? There's no like real clean pattern on the top side. That'd be the extremes. And then you've got, yeah, let's go to the daily and cut off the wicks and see if we can do any candle body type trend lines. Ugh, even that's a bit obtuse. It's not very acute. It's quite flat and blunt of a line, quite shallow. But yeah, in the short term, there's definitely room for it to keep rallying up before hitting major resistances from the past that are up here, you know, or even here for that matter. Yeah, so it could see a bit of love in the coming days. I mean, it's definitely on some kind of an uptrend at the moment. Seller. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, it is trending up. The highs are gradually getting higher. And the lows are on a climb as well. So that's indicative of an uptrend. Hopefully we can maintain that uptrend. John Smith, let's all take a moment and share this stream with a friend. Thank you, John. Appreciate that, man. Alright. Seller. I think I've traded Seller in the past, actually. Just scalped it as it was doing some crazy moves. Josh. Unfortunately, I don't have any friends. Oh, of course you do, Josh. I think you do. I think you would.
You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me. What's up, John?
Hey, not too much. Hope you're doing all right tonight, Rick.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. It's good to see there's almost 100 people tuned in on the stream.
Yeah, I'm glad to see the stream's doing well, my friend.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like a sign of market activity pulls in the viewers, you know, like when the market's popping, like when Bitcoin's up and, you know, price discovery, and it's all bullish and the alts are moving. You know, people are doing their research and jumping on YouTube and looking up, you know, crypto streams. So here we are.
I've sent so many people to your stream, man. Like,
appreciate
you
that.
Deserve it.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thank you. I try. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying any of them showed up, but I do try to spread the word because, you know, like, you deserve it.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, what do you think's gonna happen, John? Do you reckon Bitcoin's gonna keep climbing, or you think it's due for a further retracement here? Do you think we're gonna stay above 60,000 in the coming few days?
Oh yeah. I mean, what are we at now? Like 69,000?
No, we're at 60,580, roughly.
Ugh. I guess I haven't done my research. I haven't looked at the charts in a couple days. Wasn't it just yesterday? Has it dropped that much in the past couple days?
Let's see. I mean, the all-time high is now $67,000 for Bitcoin, which was made about a week ago. Yeah, 7 days ago. And right now we've pulled back to 60,000. So from 67 as the high back to 60. So it's $7,000 pullback. And we're currently sitting at that level of support, that level. And are we going to hold it? That's the big question here. Like, are we gonna maintain 60 and then start climbing again in the next few days? You know,
I mean, it's it's definitely going to climb, but I think the low, my prediction anyway, not financial advice by any means, but I think the lowest it could go in the next couple days would be around 58.
Oh
But
yeah. Okay.
you know, it's always going to have those swings.
Exactly. And if you have the patience and just ride it out, like, you know, what I like with the investment approach to crypto is that you don't have to stress the short-term moves. Like, don't worry about it. You're in for the long haul. Like, you just got to stay patient. If there's big significant dips, then, you know, if you have the money and you're comfortable doing it, you can buy the dips. And then, you know, just keep holding on for that day that it goes into price discovery, and then everyone's in profit, you know. No, if you bought in 2018 or if you bought last week, it doesn't matter. Like, everyone's in profit in price discovery. Like, no, you know, because it's new highs. So that's the long-term positive outlook on investing rather than trying to trade the short moves. But it just takes all the guesswork out, because trading there's a lot of guesswork. It's educated guesswork, like you're using oscillators and trend patterns and all that. It's technical analysis. Technical analysis at the end of the day is, there's no correct answer. It's just it is guesswork. It is like it's much like meteorology. You know, sometimes the weatherman gets it wrong. You know, he calls for a sunny day, but it starts pissing rain. Because, you know, there was some kind of variable that wasn't measurable with their equipment or whatever, you know. Something happened where the weather changed. So it's the same with crypto. Like, there's no finite correct answer, like with mathematics. You know how maths, there's always one correct answer. It can't deviate off that. Yeah. Technical analysis is not a mathematical art. It's not. Yeah, there's tools that use maths to come to a result, but yeah, with a market, especially crypto, there's so many variables at play, and because it's human beings buying and selling, that can vary dramatically at any given day or time or whatever. So, and you know, and then also fundamentals. We all know fundamentals play a big part on whether something goes on trend or not. So, yeah, you won't get like perfect black and white clarity from technical analysis. It's always varying degrees of gray, you know. Sometimes it's clearer, the picture can be clearer than other times, but it's always a guess. It's always a projection. All right, I think everyone understands that. I'm just making it very clear.
Absolutely, and that's why I appreciate you so much, is because I'm not great with the TA. I'm not even good at technical. That's not one of my areas, is technical analysis. That's why I come to you, Rick.
Yeah, man. No worries. Well, thank you for recognizing it. It'd be cool to see the channel grow just over time. Like, I'm happy for it to just keep kicking along as it is. That's sweet. But yeah, the more people that learn, like I want to learn more stuff that I am yet to master or start to understand, so that I can pass it on through my channel and people can, like, the market as a whole, like the retail, because this is where retail comes to get their information usually, like places like Twitter, YouTube, just social media in general, to get their understanding. It's how I learned how to analyze and try and do TA right over time. Like, you develop these skills. So yeah, if we get a more sophisticated you know, retail trading environment, then more people are likely to stay participating in the market and making money. I don't know. Is it a positive thing or is it a negative thing long term if the market gets smarter? Like, if the participants in the market, does it make it harder to make gains if everyone is really good at TA, you know? Or does it just mean the trends are going to be healthier, stronger, like more defined? I don't know. I don't know, but it's a good question.
I mean,
I think.
It absolutely is, and I feel like everyone should take the opportunity to educate themselves and at least understand what they're getting themselves into, because this is a deep. It's deep. It goes very in depth, and people need to understand that when they get into crypto, is that there's multiple.
Oh, push to talk. We lost you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, there's just so many layers to it that you have to understand each and every one. And like you said, it's not all technical. Sometimes it falls to the social aspect,
Yeah.
in which it's a cultural phenomenon. And that's when these meme tokens come into play. And that's why they have done so well for themselves, certain ones,
Yeah.
because they've gained that momentum, and they've gained a cultural establishment, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's like viral trends, fundamental, catalysts, like, announcements about the project, like where it's going. There's just overall like media sentiment, like what's the media pushing, like what narrative is being pushed at the moment. And then obviously the technical realm of like the charts, but yeah, it all paints a picture, and everything has its place, I think. But yeah, and that's what's cool about these groups. It's like it's a combination. Like some people focus on the news, some people want to do TA, some people talk about the fundamental drivers or sentiment. There's so many different things, and I guess my strength is TA compared to other things. Like I don't read white papers or check too much about what's on the up and coming, but yeah. There's other people that are into that, so that's cool.
Absolutely, and that's just the whole aspect of it, is that there's so many different facets that you have to consider, if you're actually going to go into it long term. But a lot of people get into the game, the crypto market as a whole, for instant gratification. They want instant gains, and
Yeah.
they have to realize that sometimes you can make a bunch of money overnight, but that's not going to happen every single time. There's going to be downtrends, and you just have to understand that you can't keep that consistent.
Yeah.
You have to know a little bit of the technical side, a little bit of the social analytics, and you just have to be able to decipher for yourself what's going up and down. And it's just that's what I appreciate about this community, is that there's a widespread network of people coming together to create such a community that we can talk back and forth.
Yeah, it's awesome. Gives you at least a good starting point to, like, I mean, you can self-teach, you can like research, but I guess it's kind of like a shortcut. If you hear what other people have, their trial and error, they say what's good, oh, look this up, this is what's helped me, and then you can go and chase that up. But yeah, it's about knowing where to look, like where to start learning. That's the big thing. So by the way, anyone tuned in on YouTube, I do have a Discord channel, and I'll put a link up right now to that. There are some text channels within the Discord with educational material, like point or linking to really good technical analysis type channels. There's a guy called Rainer Tio, so check him out. I'll just pin this to the top of the chat so you guys have that Discord link there. So Discord's
And-
totally free. You don't have to pay to be a part of it. And then my channel, I don't charge you to come in, so you're welcome in. And then there is, let's see, there's quite a few channels in here these days. Yeah, there's like a learn category with educational videos, educational material, indicator settings, like, yeah, lots of useful information. Not to mention there's like a chat room, a voice chat room you can jump in on, which I'm in with John right now. There's like 18 of us in here at the moment. So yeah, when things are quiet, like come in here and ask questions, like go for it. You know, bounce
And
ideas.
I've just got to say that I appreciate this community so much. And by community, I mean the one you've created on the Discord, including the YouTube aspect as well. And not to get off record or off topic, but if I ever decide to create a Discord, I'm definitely coming to you.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be crypto, it can be anything, as you know, like you can be into woodworking or like, I don't know, medieval weapons, I don't know, anything. Any topic you can think of, there'd be people out there that are interested in it, and if you build like a Discord channel and a YouTube channel off that, then yeah, you're gonna get some kind of activity, you'd think. And then it's all about, you know, having engaging content, learning how to advertise the channel and keep it interesting. Like I know I need to put more effort into like maybe thumbnails and keeping my finger on the pulse on what's trending in crypto, because clickbait's one part of it to bring in the people, like to bring in the viewers, but then your content has to be there, like to hold them and get them subscribing and checking back regularly. So I think, yeah, the content's decent, like, you know, doing the rundown of the market, but yeah, maybe I need to put more effort into the like the thumbnails, or like talking about what's trending. Like, for instance, a lot of people, I guess, are focusing on the Shiba thing right now, which would be good to like get more people to jump into this space and focus on what's happening. But yeah,
I mean,
things like
you're
that.
right. Sometimes, sometimes it's appropriate to have clickbaity, thumbnails and all that. But like you said, like it's at the end of the day all about the content. So it doesn't matter what you make your thumbnail, as long. Actually, let me rewind here, because it absolutely matters. So let me retract that statement and go back. Okay, so yes, definitely make clickbaity thumbnails to draw the people in, but you will definitely keep them
if the quality
just
content.
by being you.
Oh,
Just
I
by
appreciate
being
that.
you, Rick.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
And I'm not trying to cob swallow, but like it's legit. You've always led me in the right direction, and people notice. That's why you do have a following. That's why you're continually growing, and I love to see it.
Cheers, dude. Well, you've been there. You're an OG, so I appreciate that. And it's good to hear your voice when you come onto the stream with your energy. Positive energy. It's a good thing.
It's awesome to be here. I just appreciate being a part of your community.
You're welcome, dude. Yeah, I might not be here every day, but when I do come here, like I try to share the right stuff. So, all right, I think we got another super chat comment here. Crypto King, $5. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Please TA on Blocktopia, BLOK. Also, why are people talking about Elrond? What they are doing with Blocktopia? Okay, Elrond. So Elrond is EGLD, I believe, but let me check out Blocktopia. I mean, that's going way up. Wow. you see it had this support trend, this, like, I just took out the most extreme lows here, joined them up, and we've departed that trend. Very bullish, and it's climbing. So oh, crazy hot dog. I saw it. I was sorry. Appreciate your super chat as well. You sent another 50 of that Danish whatever currency that is. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, thanks Crypto King again for your super chat there. Anyway, Blocktopia, sorry. Let's see. All-time high. I mean, it set one 2 days ago, and it's still on trend. There was a bit of a pullback yesterday, which was kind of scary. That would have been like, if you had bought into this climb here and you saw that yesterday, that would have been quite a shake of the a rattle of the cage. So, but it's okay. We're sort of bounced at the moment, and just like Shiba, we're trying to climb and continue to attack that high that we've made. So that high is 6.95 cents. So 0.0695 is the all-time high. So need to get back up on top of that. Blocktopia. So let's check also CoinMarketCal, the calendar website, just to see if there's any mention of these trending coins in the coming days. I don't know if you can see that. Cummies has an NFT marketplace launch on the 29th. It's in a couple of days. I'm sure that's probably trending at the moment. Ethereum, Altair mainnet upgrade the 27th. So that's basically today. So is Ethereum moving today? Let's see. ETH. Not really. I mean, it's been trending. So maybe this is like a sell the news type moment for it. I don't know. Ontology. Yeah, like some of these are just like listings. Halvings are interesting. BTZ halving. Block reward, I'm guessing, for the if it's like a proof of stake. Sorry, a proof of work, POW coin. Then the block reward, the halving of that. Pikachu Inu, Bitmart listing. There's all of these Inu coins. Doge related spin-offs. Nami Inu. Uzumaki. Sorry, who was that? Your mic was coming through kind of distorted.
I think it's Chemical trying to get in. I've seen the green ring a few times, but I've not heard anything.
Oh, okay. All good, all good. OMG Network. Yeah, this is a pretty cool website to just check. You can filter by exchange as well. So if you're only on Binance, for example, you can use that as a filter and it'll only show you things that are available on Binance. So that can be helpful. There's a lot of exchanges listed here. So find your favorite one and filter by that. You can see what's coming up. Highlights. ADA is supposed to have some action happening. Another one from Crazy Hot Dog. Dude, you are crazy. Thank you so much for the super chat there. No problem. It's $7.80 US. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support. Now, I guess, yeah, it's suggesting here to keep an eye on Ethereum, Harmony, and Cardano. Or Cardano, as you guys in the US would say. ETH, 1, and 8.
Wait, how did you say it?
I say Cardano, but I know you guys say Cardano. Or
Can you do a quick
Cardano? Cardano. Yeah,
I've always called it Cardano.
Cardano.
It's squeezing really hard right now, but I don't know. If you look at the MACD, it looks like it's going to go up.
All right, let's have a look. A, B, C, D, A, D, A.
It's been,
There we go.
it's already crossed below the middle line of the MACD.
On the daily or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Magic
Like,
Mike, what's going on?
What's up, Smith? The infamous John Smith.
yeah. Dude, I think there's a lot of bullish potential here for ADA. I mean, the MACD's been cooled off for days. It's been so low. It's just been held back. It's been bumping its head on the neutral line of the RSI. Whoa, another one from Crazy Hot Dog. Appreciate that, dude. Another 50 DKK. Thanks for the support, dude. Appreciate that. All right.
Thank you
yeah,
so much
ADA.
for the support.
Yeah. Dude, ADA's squeezing like crazy. I think something exciting is going to happen where it just explodes. And my feeling is up. I don't think it's going to break down. I think it's more likely to go up just by what's, where the market's at right now. Everything's in bull mode right now. So I don't see why we wouldn't see some kind of a bullish trend start to take off again on ADA. It's just a matter of when, really. Like, when the hell's it going to happen? But, yeah.
It's coming to. It's like at the tip of that pennant.
Yeah, there is. Like, there's this pennant formation that's forming, and it's like.
The only thing I don't
where's
like
it
is
gonna-
it looks like the pennant. If you go to the higher highs, the price is testing the bottom of the pennant more than the top.
Yeah, it's relaxing on support more than, yeah, I see what you mean there. Go back onto the hourly, yeah, it's like, it's getting these pumps, these moments where it comes up to test the top, but yeah, it does, it seems to relax a lot more. It's been resting on support a bit more. Another one, Crazy Hot Dog making it rain. Another 50 DKK, appreciate that, dude.
Crazy.
You're like the new John Smith.
He's got that deep purse.
Yeah.
He or she. I don't know.
Yeah, he or she. That's it. He's a hot dog.
Just a crazy hot dog trying to make it in this world.
Yeah. That's it. So yeah, maybe that's something I should be looking at a bit more closely now that it's reaching that apex, ADA. It's really squeezing down. And we're gonna see some kind of some kind of trend happen soon enough, because I mean there is no trend right now. It's just flat, it's chopping sideways, and it's been doing that for some time now. But yeah, let's see where we go. Let's see how that goes. Ethereum still in this scary kind of rising wedge trend here. Bitcoin broke down out of its one because it had one too, right? It was trending up in a bit of a very slight wedge. Like it's almost like a parallel channel that it's been trending up in, and it got the break out of that. It broke down, which is the expected outcome, because it can't just climb forever. We all know that there has to be pullbacks along the way. But let's see. Yeah, Ethereum, I'll just be cautious with it. There's no guarantee that it's gonna go up out of this wedge, but the market's, as we know, the market's full of surprises. It can do the unexpected. We can get a break up out of a wedge. I mean, we did get one here. It came up from, broke out the top side of something, some kind of shape like this, which is pretty surprising. Yeah. Long term, I still like Ethereum. I'm still a big fan. It's just, it needs that ETH 2.0 upgrade that they've been teasing us with for the last few years. And boy, does it hold a lot of the market share. It's, almost $500 billion is inside Ethereum. And we got, you know, 1.14 trillion in Bitcoin. That's incredible. Market cap comfortably above 2.5 trillion.
Are you familiar at all with Dragon Chain?
Dragon Chain. I have heard of it. Yes, I have heard of Dragon Chain. I don't know much about it, but I've heard the name.
It's actually the crypto that was created by Disney.
By who now? Disney.
Disney.
Oh, Disney.
A small little.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Disney. Yeah. Wow. Well, it's. Yeah. Okay. It came out. Oh, it's only been out since the start of this year.
I think it's been around since 2016.
Oh, okay. Well, price data only goes back to the 1st of January this year, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's existed somewhere else, and they just don't have...
ticker
Oh,
is...
wait. I was on the wrong button. All. Here we go. Yeah, you're right. 2017. December 2017. It's been out since then. And it's... Ooh, damn. Has it been flat? Look at that. Look at that low.
Yeah.
It's just been trending on the ground. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day it gets some love, gets some action, but... Where does it exist? What markets does it exist on? KuCoin, Gate.io, Bittrex, Fat BTC, Hit BTC, Bancor Network. Okay. Maybe if it got a listing to Binance, it might have a bit of hope to see some action, but yeah.
Is it one? See, I don't know a lot about it, but I know if Disney backs something like fully, it can take off. Like if Disney seriously got into the crypto game, I think they just created it as like a back pocket game. But I feel like if they were to fully support it, I mean, it is Disney after all.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, it just has to do something. Like, it has to come out and say, oh, this is what we got in store. Like, you know, is there anything like that on the cards for it? Is there something to excite the market into, you know?
See, that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people
know about it.
I don't think a lot of people even know about it.
Yeah, like just the lay person. Like, I don't know. Dragon Chain is an enterprise and startup ready platform to build flexible and scalable blockchain applications. So, you know, maybe it's that something has come along and does it better than Dragon Chain, because Dragon Chain's been around for a while. You know, December 2017, that's getting on there. And, you know, if it hasn't had any kind of development beyond what it achieved, then I don't know. It's okay. Smart contract. It's a smart contract kind of environment thing, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not a huge fundamental
and what does
kind of
that
guy.
mean?
Well, it's smart contracts are like what Ethereum sort of offers as well. Like, there's so many other networks that you can do smart contracts over, and perhaps Dragon Chain just isn't competitive in the performance side of things, you know? Maybe it's slow. I don't know. I really don't know. I would suggest researching it on YouTube. Like, check out how it performs. Like, what does it do under the hood? Like, why hasn't it gone up this year? Like, why wasn't there an explosion in price for Dragon Chain?
It has to be purposeful.
Yeah, like something's holding it back. Hey.
Check out Shiba.
Oh.
Something's about to happen.
Oh, right. Yep, it's knocking on the door of that high. Damn. All right.
Here it goes. 50.
But yeah, Dragon Chain. I mean, you know, if it comes out swinging with something fundamental like a big break, and like, you know, and people start taking notice, then yeah, there's potential. There's a lot of room above it.
Maybe even though it has been around for so long, this is still the bottom floor for them because they didn't pump it up. Like I said, a lot of people don't even know about it, but
Yeah.
it is Disney, and if they wanted to, they could put it on every single platform that they have and be like, buy crypto now, buy Dragon Chain.
Yeah,
Bum, bum, bum.
they could, but are they in the? Do they need to do that? I don't know. Like, do they need to pump something? Not really. They're a
I mean,
successful
they're all
company.
about money.
Well,
They're
yeah,
all about that money. So
yeah. Who
eventually,
knows, man?
it's gonna get there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll be keeping my eyes on crypto, like, as I'm sure a lot of you guys will over time. Like, it might not be
Like
every
a
day,
hawk.
but yeah, just watching it, seeing it if it comes up through the ranks.
Shiba better not get rejected here.
Yeah, it could. Just be careful. You know, things can double top.
Yeah,
But
that would
it
be that
is.
pattern, right?
It's definitely running hot. That's for sure. Like, it's seeing a lot of
Definitely,
activity.
it could possibly be a good time to sell. I see a lot of green, but I've not seen a lot of red. And the downfall will happen.
Yeah, but it's just like, yeah, is it gonna do the downfall now? Like at its,
You have
yeah,
it's
we just
unknowable.
we have to just wait and see, wait for confirmation. That's the line to beat, that blue line that I just put up. I'll make it a bit brighter so you can see.
We can't know at this point.
Yeah, we really can't. I mean, there's always an element of hope when you enter a position. Like, you know, there's no guarantee. You still,
True.
come on, like, you know, you want it to go up and you hope it does. You know, it's always everything. There's always a hint of crossing your fingers. It's like,
I'm willing it to go up.
yeah. I think it's one of the top trenders perhaps for today. Let's see. Or ENJ is, oh, it's peeled off a bit because that was up 11%. It's back down to 8. So Blocktopia is doing well. Sand, T-Fuel, Mana, Iotex, Elon. Where's Sheep? Sheep's down here at 2.25% up for the day. But yeah, it could still be in for another push. Let's see it.
It's fighting.
Yeah.
I think that most of the dumping would have happened as the checks hit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna watch it on the smaller time frames here, just for because it's moving fairly quick, I guess. We want to know what's happening on the oscillators. Now this was the previous high. I make that blue. Current high being pink. Put that in there. Yeah, I mean, as it approaches this 5,000, it's such a big psychological number, you know. Do we punch it or do we get rejected by it? It's kind of exciting to see if it will or not. Now the cipher indicator on the minute chart here is like sort of suggesting that there might be a wave coming down, like a further pullback, but let's wait for that pivot dot to show in. Now that's these little green dots that happen the cipher indicator. They appear when there's a shift about to happen, like from down to up, because currently we're in the effect of a downshift, which was signaled here, and then we haven't had a green dot yet, which means, you know, we could see some further pulling back, and then once we get that green momentum dot, that might be where we get the next like leg up on the shorter time frame. But so far, we're not quite there yet.
Hey, we just hit triple digits on the YouTube. So
Hey.
shout out to everybody on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. To my dude Rick here on Crypto Down Under.
Thank you, John, and thank you, YouTube viewers. Bring up this other view. Ooh, here we go. Here's a little bit of activity.
A little bit of an uptrend there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little tick up. Hopefully it's enough to sort of get the ball rolling again. The MACD histogram bar just turned light red, which means there could be a pivot. Yeah, there we go. There's the green dot on the cipher. Is that enough to sort of get the ball rolling? Punch us up. That's the thing, like, you know, when you've been pulling back and you get those moments of green, it's like, ooh, it gets exciting, but it can be what they call a falling knife, or like, you know, a bit of a fake out to entice people to open positions, you know. But yeah, it's a bit of an arm wrestle. Like, there's no doubt, like, whenever something's like testing resistance, it's always an arm wrestle. Not always, but a lot of the times, I should say. You know, there's a lot of back and forth, you know, like, are we gonna break through, or are we gonna get rejected? But
That's kind of the glory.
Yeah. Feels like a little bit of a bull pennant or bull flag, I guess, right now. That's the kind of feeling it has on this really short time frame, right? We're on the 1 minute chart, but this looks like some kind of like a bull flag perhaps, or bull pennant, I don't know. See how it goes. The 1 minute chart, it's very zoomed in, as you know, and
English Gator, thank you for the subscription.
yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
So can I get a TA on Dogecoin?
Yeah, we can have a look at Doge. Alright, so that spent a bit of time above a trend line, a macro trend line, but now it's been pushed back underwater of this trend. It is still in a climb. There's no doubt about that. Like, we've got a trend here where the highs are getting higher. Sorry, the lows are getting higher and the highs are working their way back up. So it's not explosive just yet. There's no huge explosive trend like we saw with SNL, or, you know, 420, April 20th, the so-called Doge Day. But it looks good. Like, the key features here are the higher lows on the higher time frame over time. Like, it's very gradual and steady, but that's all right. We can still climb gradually, but we just need to start really breaking those previous macro highs. These pivots here are the ones to beat, you know.
So I'm wondering, can you look?
What's that?
Can you scry in your crystal ball outwards up to like the next 420?
Oh yeah, I've got it drawn out already, like where it is on the chart. Like it's this green line here, this vertical line. That's the next Doge day. So we're about halfway between Doge days right now. We're at the halfway point. So, you know, anything can happen between now and then. We could get more bull action, no doubt. Like there could be an all-time high this year. We don't know, but
I think it'll happen, yeah, before the end of the year. But that's just me. I'm crazy. Infamously crazy. But, you know, like, I think that there were alternative forces working against us this last time. As far as the Doge market is concerned, there were people working against us in the uptrend on every occasion.
Right on. Well, hopefully this time around it's a cleaner shot up. We'll see. Well, Shiba, here we go. Here's a potential climb. It's just, yeah, these previous little highs here on the short time frame are proving to still be a little bit of resistance. We just need that pop. We need to break those lines of previous price action. Yep, exactly. Need to just pop above.
I mean, we've got the holders.
Yeah.
We just need that little.
Yeah, it just needs that gentle push to get it over that crest.
I mean, I feel like Elon is holding out for something big. He's just waiting on shareholders to approve being accepted, you know, accepting Doge, of course. But how much do you think, Rick, that, and everybody else in the Discord, how much do you think that would affect the Doge market?
Oh, huge! If they accepted Dogecoin for their cars, for Teslas, yeah, that would be a big deal. For the overall like price of Doge is positive. It would take it to at least $1, I think. Yeah.
And that, I mean, the one that I'm hanging on to is the most recent tweet. And I'm not trying to be one of those Elon fanboys, but you know, when the richest man in the world talks about being the first trillionaire in Dogecoin, I mean, people have to take notice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. It's all, I mean, he's proven that his influence has a huge impact on the market. Like, he was just tweeting and it was causing huge movements at one point, and he's been quiet for some time, but yeah, he's still watching the space, that's for sure. He's got skin in the game, so to speak, so...
It's good to have a few billionaires in your pocket. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
When you have whales that can actually literally change and influx the market in a moment's notice, that's when you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Or way before.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe
it's starting. Shiba's starting to look a little like it's this resistance still tough. It doesn't mean it's over this trend, but this approach didn't quite make it, and we're talking super micro here. We're on the 1 minute chart, so we're just looking at the short time frame. But Yeah, it's still got a support structure underneath it.
Brick,
Let's see.
do you scalp at all?
I did scalp it, or I did scalp trending coins, a couple months ago, but Binance closed off their access to scalping for Australians on futures, Binance futures. So I've had to move. I've moved a little bit of money across to KuCoin, and I've just been playing here and there on things, and yeah, nothing big, but yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Do you like KuCoin?
No, I don't like it, honestly. Coming from Binance, the functionality is so clunky, and it's laggy, it's slow. They don't have a desktop application, sort of like how Binance had. Binance has an actual desktop client that you can open, and it's not like it's running through a website on a browser. But other than that, it is good if you're swing trading or investing, like KuCoin, if you're playing longer moves. But scalping's a nightmare because you need that fast information flow to be able to scalp, because you need to know what's happening here and now as the seconds tick by. And yeah, KuCoin's just not there with it. It's quite laggy, and yeah.
What are your feelings on Coinbase and Gemini?
My feelings on Coinbase and Gemini. Well, Coinbase is awesome. That's a great platform. It's very strong, well known. They're listed on the stock exchange. They're a front runner. They're an industry leader when it comes to crypto exchanges. That's for sure. Gemini is a brokerage, I believe. I don't think they're an exchange. I'm not sure. I don't use it. I don't even know if I've got access to it as an Australian. But yeah, it's solid. That's the one that the Winklevoss twins run, right? Gemini. And then
I'm not even sure.
Robinhood's the other one that's big and popular, but I don't like it. Just
That's
by the
why
sounds
I didn't
of it.
mention.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah,
if you're using it and it works for
out.
you, if it works for you, go for it. I don't know. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm only speaking off stories that I've heard about it.
I initially went in with Robinhood, and I've had some trades withheld, and just not had a good time with Robinhood. And obviously the lack of wallets and them just dangling it within our reach. Almost had it. That whole bullshit that they try to present themselves as. They should have just gave wallets to the public a long time ago.
Yeah, is it really that hard to set up? Why have they not produced that yet for people?
It's a question for the eons. But there were several billion Doge coins, but not too long ago, that I kind of attribute that's Robinhood trying to create the wallets. Because
Right.
as you know, when you buy into Robinhood, you don't fully own the crypto.
Right.
But they're just trying to buy it to where they can.
Oh, you cut out, man. You push to talk or whatever.
Hey, Rick.
Hello?
How are you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you?
Fine. You might want to read the latest report after earnings on Robinhood, what they discussed.
Yeah, well, yeah. Have you read it? Are you able to give us a rundown, a conclusion, or what you think?
Yeah, give us a synopsis.
Yeah. Oh, it was very negatory on Robinhood and the crypto market. That's the reason their stock fell, I think 8.25%.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't heard many positive stories out of Robinhood.
Well,
Like
it's more of a reflection of the crypto market, and I think than it is the Robinhood itself. I
right.
think there's a slow backlash coming that crypto, the amount of exchanges done by retail investors diminishing quickly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're jumping across to platforms that they trust, like, you know, the whole wallet thing, like with crypto. Like, the Robinhood model is just not very attractive. It's been gunned down. That's what it feels like. I don't know.
The indication by the
The only
institutions
thing that I appreciate about Robinhood is that it's great for new investors that want to get into crypto. They make it super easy. But once you're in, you're kind of hooked in a sense. And at the end of the day, you don't have a wallet, so there you are.
Some people actually like that, but I don't.
I've spent 10 years without one. Use the voice. The point Robinhood had made with their statement today after earnings was that the number of retail investors involved in the crypto market is diminishing in volume and dollars.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Great. Saw this
Yeah.
trend coming with this
Yeah.
involved, and that the larger investors are going for the institutional / government coin. I think it's going to be here within 5 years.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Government coin.
It's exactly what China, the Bank of England, Deutsche Bank, and the American Bank, inflationary government, so that you spend it. They don't want something. Why would you buy? Let's say, why would you buy a pizza $10 when that particular currency is going to be $30 down the road or 10 years down? If it's inflationary and gains in value, an intrinsic asset, you'll hoard it. That's why you have negative inflation rates in Japan and China. If you borrow $100,000 from Germany, 10 years you owe back $80,000. It's negative in interest. They're paying you to borrow the money.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think that could have a total negative effect in the sense that it's going to attract a lot of unsuspecting victims.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Basically, like, yeah, an asset.
No,
Like,
by that I mean that people that are not going to be able to pay.
Yeah, did you see that recovery on Shiba?
voice down. Suddenly, John Smith, you cut out like over.
Do you see a wacky cup on 5 minutes? The handle is in formation right now. Mic check.
I can hear you. Me?
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking like if Rick is around, he can answer that question.
Here we go, Shiba. Here we go. It should find support here. It's like the 50 moving average on the 1 minute.
All right, Shiba is still teasing. Still trying to break above that resistance, that all-time high resistance that it's formed or created. But yeah, we saw that little, if I go back to the 1 minute chart, there's a bit of a, it goes through these little shakeouts, these little dips, you know, after every kind of attempt at a climb, comes up, finds resistance, and then dips, like does this little pullback and just shakes out all the weak hands, and it's potentially looking at doing that again, this little oscillation. But yeah, it's still looking healthy, still climbing up, testing that all-time high. But yeah, a break of that all-time high is going to be, you know, you're going to get a few nice candles off that, I think. Sit back and watch the show. Just checking all the different time frames here on the shorter scale, just to see if there's any like signals to be paying attention to, like any divergences or momentum shifts. Or I mean, the 1 minute chart, the cipher, has produced like a bit of a pullback, but that's, you know, we might have seen that play out already with these couple of candles. And yeah, let's just see, let's just watch it. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin as well. Still holding above 60. It's good.
You think we're going down, Rick?
Hey, what's happening? Like long term? I think it's
short term.
Well, yeah. So short term, it's on the cards. Yeah, for sure. We're repeatedly tested 60,000 here. I mean, I can see a case for it holding 60 and then breaking out of this this slight downtrend that's been in place since the all-time high. But I think there's still room for this to pull back, and I think it would be reasonable to test 53,000. You know, so we'll see. Someone's snoring. Yiba. Coming up to attack that high still.
Hey, can you go to a 5 minute timeline on Shiba?
Yep. I'm on that right now. 5 minute. So it's still holding this trend here. It hasn't broken it just yet, but we'll see.
If you zoom in, do you see a cup?
If I zoom in,
Yes.
on the 5 minute,
Zoom out. Yeah.
Like this type thing. Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
that
Yeah.
is a handle that I'm seeing
Mhm.
right now. But if you zoom out more,
Oh, like big time zoom out. You mean
yeah, big time zoom out. Yeah, so
like
this is the
15-minute
stuff
chart? Yeah. Yeah, it could be something like that happening.
that is the handle that I'm seeing at the end.
See, yeah, we just have to see how it plays out. I mean, it's coming up and testing these previous highs from this swing up, this pivot. Found resistance there, and it's testing that area right now. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if we can get above that zone. I'm optimistic. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's still very much possible. But yeah, around resistance, it's pretty common to see this like arm wrestle, this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like because people are kind of like, oh, I don't know yet, like they're just on the fence. And then there's always the fair amount of bull bears like trying to open shorts because they think this is it. They think they can make profit off a crash or something like that. But there's still demand. I mean, every time we swing down, there's people buying it. So yeah, the demand just has to outweigh the supply. Pretty big hammer there on the 1 minute. A 1 minute hammer. I don't know how significant that is, but it might be enough to kick up a couple of minutes of the green, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. It has that kind of vibe to it of an ascending triangle where the lows are getting higher and then resistance, established resistance keeps getting retested, Yeah, it's like a bit of a W sort of. I mean, there's this like sort of double bottom type vibe over here. Enough to sort of spring it up and hopefully attack that high and go back into price discovery. I mean, it's so close to it. That 5,000 is such a psychological level for it. Now it's pulling back again on the micro. Alright, it's... energy's all over the place on this one. On this, on this test. I mean, like I've said, you know, this whole arm wrestle back and forth. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this stream up. Check out TradingView to follow the progress of the charts, and Piscot's got a Discord channel. If you check out his stream, you'll see the details for Piscot's crypto channel in the description of this stream, as well as Static's The Real Republic, and also B Crypto. So there's links to those channels in the description of this stream. So take care of yourselves and good luck in your trades today if you're trading, and I'll catch you on the next stream. Alright, have a good one.